tsunami liquidity is inflowing currently into the crypto space. There are so many things happening out there in the crypto space. And I have to say, it actually feels to me like what's busy happening out there in my business is locally and what it is that I'm busy doing here with my businesses. So flippin' phenomenal news. You, though, watching this video, I appreciate you coming back to Crypto Bliss. Thank you for being here with me once again on this channel. And let's not waste another moment. You and I have such little time together that I need to give you the hardest facts, most powerful points of information and knowledge in this space that you can possibly see on a frequent basis. Let's get right to it. Starting off with FTX. All right. Breaking: FTX Recovery Trust will distribute over $5 billion to creditors in its second round of payouts on May 30th. That's the end of this month in 2025. I wonder what those people are going to do with it, considering that's $5 billion that was invested into crypto space. Knowing that the bull market is about to rage, okay, you know it, my friends. This bull market is just starting now. And I'll show to you why in the charts in a moment. So stay with me. Because President of the UAE told Donald Trump that the relationship between their countries has taken a significant leap forward since he took office. That is phenomenal news, knowing that the UAE have heavily invested into crypto technology. They are the crypto hub of the world, and millionaires and billionaires in crypto go to Dubai. And the UAE, that's just what it is, because the crypto regulations, and it's all tax-free. You get to keep 100% of your money, okay? They don't need your money. They got oil money, man. So, and business money. So, this is truly, absolutely phenomenal. And this is powerful, powerful news for all other obvious reasons in the world, that tariffs are low, interest rates are low, oil prices are low. So everybody is in unison across the world with what's busy going on in the markets. And that is giving a foundation and a platform for the markets to build and grow from. And that's why you see literally SUI. And if you have not been watching my videos, I have been speaking about SUI for so long to my beautiful community. I still own a big bag of SUI, okay? And SUI's total DEX volume has surpassed $90 billion. Look at this growth since May 2023 to May 2025. Massive, massive, massive. Year-to-date change is 90%. Wow, wow, wow. And obviously CETUS owning about 58.8%. And I know Carl Chasse often speaks very, very heavily and highly about CETUS. So shout out to CETUS for being the reason that obviously SUI has been able to have this inflow into their ecosystem. Not only that, but MetaMask, as you all know, does not yet have the native Solana support, and that is, however, coming this May. I don't think you realize, sometimes when I use MetaMask, I'm actually so frustrated that I can't use Solana's native on MetaMask. It's actually quite frustrating. So I'm very happy to hear that this has come about, because I thought that, if MetaMask can have Air or most of the others, then why could it not have Solana being one of the top coins in the space? But that's because Solana wasn't interested really necessarily. I think they were very heavily focused on their own business with their own wallets, etc. So the Solflare wallet, the Phantom wallet, and these things, So this is all very significant to the ecosystems and the spreadability. And this is amazing for the crypto ecosystem. Imagine what it is that I'm about to show you. Make sure you're staying tuned with me, because the latest BTC dominance dips below 64.4% down to 61.6%, while ETH rises to 9.75% plus 3%, and all altcoins climb to 22.35%, which is 2% up. Beautiful, okay? So Bitcoin is the orange, altcoin is the pink, and Ethereum is the blue, and stablecoin is the turquoise. Nobody's investing in stablecoins technically right now, okay? Bitcoin is that, although it's taken a dip, and we can see a spike in altcoins, and we can see a spike in Ethereum. Okay, we're starting to see that liquidity shift over from Bitcoin into these other altcoins, etc. Are you ready, my friends, for what is about to unfold? I hope you are, because Bitcoin is about to enter the thrill stage. We're currently in getting ready to break through the belief stage right into the thrill stage. And that is why this cycle is only just beginning right now. We're seeing a fall in the USDT dominance and a rise in the in Bitcoin USD. Okay, this is amazing. And this is why, my friends, before I share with you the next post, make sure you are subscribed to the Crypto Bliss community and show some love and share this video with all people that you know. It truly helps the algorithm share my content across the world. So I would appreciate that for being here with you, taking the time out with you, and sharing with you this important content so that you know how to position yourself at this moment. I'm taking a lot of dry powder that I'm getting, and I'm loading my bags up because that is where we're at. We're at an exceptional point in the market right now. So make sure to make money with us and subscribe to the Crypto Bliss community. Now let's go and have a look at the Bitcoin chart before I move on with my narrative. Very short and simple. Use my Bybit link down below. Get yourself up to $30,000 deposit bonus, and let's trade and make money together. I have shared with you that I have been in profits in my trade for some time now, since down here. This is weeks now. Since March, I've been in profits here, really. Well, technically since April, beginning of April. So why I'm sharing this chart with you, have a look here, okay? Let's squeeze this all nice and tightly. Here is the current area, this horizontal white line. This is the current price that Bitcoin, and look how it coincides with the Bollinger Band up here, and with the resistance point up here, which is the same as this resistance point. We will come back to that. And truly, what we can see is that the moment Bitcoin breaks out of $106,555, okay, we, in fact, call it $106,666, okay? The moment we break out of that, we will absolutely have the momentum, the power, the demand to absolutely crush through this massive area. Well, it's not even a massive area, but it's a resistance point at this moment. So for me, my friends, we've found support. This is a demand zone, as you can see. If you zoom in right now, the candles keep getting bought up here. And that's why you can see here that even though we're tumbling a little bit on the stochastic RSI and the MACD, our momentum and our volume hasn't really come through just yet. And by way of looking where we're currently at, technically by the 18th, maybe 19th of May, so 3 to 4 days, we will see Bitcoin crush through this and very likely hold still here for a couple days, okay? And then continue to pursue next levels at 31 May. Now have a look at that 31 May, which will be relevant going forward to the remainder of the narrative in this video. So make sure you stay tuned and are subscribed to the Crypto Bliss community, and I'd appreciate you, and thank you for being here with me. Let's move on. So USDT dominance collapsing, Bitcoin price increasing, right? My target, as you all know, is $300,000 for Bitcoin, all the way up here, okay? $300,000 for Bitcoin. That's my target, my friends. You already know that. because you've been subscribed to my channel. Now, that target, essentially by way of my diagrams that I have drawn on this chart with you and previously shown you, the estimate of the breakout from the previous all-time high, okay, to the cycle that follows high is an estimate of around 300 odd days, or 9 months and 10 days. Now, honestly, we've made this climb up to here, and that's really it. We haven't really made an exceptionally explosive move. I still believe that is coming. I believe we'll very likely see that by the end of May to mid-June. Sometime in this area, we will have a massive explosion in liquidity coming through for Bitcoin. And that leads me into other people experiencing that potentially the peak could also be around 300K. There's different views out there in the market. And that's why I have to say to you that you cannot trust companies like JP Morgan when they tell you that they're not buying Bitcoin or crypto and that it's dangerous and a shit asset and it's drug trafficking and whatever else they want to label it as, okay, to now, as a $4 trillion asset manager, settling its first transaction on a public blockchain using Chainlink and Ondo to move the tokenized assets. Chainlink because of its interoperability for multiple chains, and Ondo because of the tokenized treasuries. I think you get what it is that I'm trying to tell you here. Liquidity is coming in, even from the bullshitters that talk shit nonstop. I'm just calling it for what it is. And that's why if you're holding the ka-ching-ching instead of the Bitcoin bling bling, okay, people who hold this call it a cult, okay, and people who use this call Bitcoin a cult, use money like this. That's just the simple of it. And that's just the reality behind where we are, because that's where we've come from and that's all we know. But people like you and I that are subscribed to the Crypto Bliss community will know that that is bullshit, because for the last 5 years and the last 15 years, 5 years of my channel with you, so thank you for being here with me for that period and beyond, and for Bitcoin being around for 15, nearly 16, coming up, well, going towards the 16th year, makes a significant difference in this argument, because they don't see it or believe in it, but people like you and I do, because we can see it, okay, for ourselves, because our charts just keep going up over the zoom out framework and time frame. And that's why you should really be more like Billy. Billy, it's time you learn about money and the importance of Billy grabs the money and his dad's and heads off to a Bitcoin ATM, gives them the $30 cash and gets some Bitcoin. The dad says, fucking legend. Very cool, right? Now, this will be critical for us to understand that we truly are not bullish enough. Everything that I've gone through in this video is just an absolute itty bitty little fraction of what is busy happening. Okay, let's hear out.
Why we may not actually be bullish enough. Number one, proliferation of capital into the public markets for things related to Bitcoin and other assets. Kraken is going public, would be an example, but other companies are going public. America BTC spinning out of Hut 8 as an example. Yep. So there's a lot more capital in the space, which means it's going to eventually flow into things like Bitcoin and a Solana. Number two, copycats that are out there of strategy, formerly known as MicroStrategy. There's a proliferation of those. You have the selling cycle. Jono, how long have you been on Wall Street?
Since 1984.
Okay. All right. So I've been, just like you, I'm 89. So there's a combined 70 years here. We're both lying about our age. Don't look us up on Wikipedia. But what I'm getting to is we both know that Wall Street is a selling machine. And BlackRock is just turned on the dial of thousands of consultants going out there. And so you saw on April, after quote unquote Liberation Day, Bitcoin sort of was not super correlated to the Mag 7 and others. So I'm just wondering, proliferation of capital, copycats, introduction of wider regulation, Wall Street selling machine for these ETFs and other products, we may not be bullish enough.
And this is exactly why you need to understand why it is so critically important to know that you are not bullish enough. Bitcoin, very likely in the next 5, 6, 7 years, will 10, 11, 12x from where it is, 15x from where it is today. And I'll show you where other people who are critically important navigators in markets will tell you so too. And so you can see here that MasterCard now enables a stablecoin payment at 150 million businesses worldwide. In my business, I received our first Bitcoin payment for legal medicinal cannabis here in South Africa. What would you say to that? Very likely the first legal medicinal transaction done in South Africa, probably in Africa, I have no doubt.
To his MoonPay's founder and CEO, Ivan Soto-Wright. Good morning to you. Just because some folks may not understand what this all means, break down the technology here. So MasterCard, well, I won't even do it. You do it, Ivan.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me again. It's great to be back on the show. From our perspective, we think stablecoins are a really big deal. It's actually quite personal for me. I'm half Venezuelan, and there are people all around the world that receive money from the United States. This is a new technology layer. Stablecoins are dollars on a blockchain. Anyone with an internet connection, anyone with a phone can receive money in the form of the US dollar at the speed of light, the speed of the internet. And from our perspective, we want to see this embedded everywhere. The next logical step for us was, okay, there's 120 million unique wallet addresses that have stablecoins, 30 million active users. How do we make that possible for them to spend those stablecoins? Logical next step was with MasterCard. They've been a phenomenal partner. We've been working with them over the past couple of years. Shout out to Michael and Sherry, the president over at MasterCard, to bring this to life. But we want to make this more accessible. MoonPay has been about building the backwards compatibility of the existing financial system. So this made a lot of sense.
I want you to sort of project out what the financial future looks like, because I sometimes don't think that the audience and all of us totally understand where this all goes, because it feels to me once you get to a point where a MasterCard or the Visa network and everybody is in stablecoin land, actually sort of finance actually fundamentally changes.
For sure. I think cryptocurrency wallets are going to be embedded everywhere. It's ultimately a new internet native technology. If you think about the legacy system, we had all these financial systems in different parts of the world that didn't communicate with each other in a shared language. Blockchains are that shared language. Stablecoins sit on top of them. And so we think it's going to be a natural next step that every single financial institution recognizes its importance. And so that was part of the reason last time I came on the show, we acquired Iron, which was a developer platform to bring APIs, bring really simple to easy to use infrastructure for any business to embed stablecoins.
In terms of how, though, this fundamentally disrupts the banks or the traditional financial system, I mean, here you have MasterCard doing this. At some level, is this going to cannibalize any part of their business?
I think this is like a natural evolution. So we've seen technology leaps. This is the next technology leap. Everyone's going to recognize that internet native money movement. It just needed to happen. Like, the next generation, my generation, isn't going to put up with days and very costly expenses for moving money around. Traditional remittance providers would charge up to 6% if you wanted to move money from the United States to another country. You can do this at a fraction of a penny with a stablecoin. And so from our perspective, the best technology will ultimately win, and our job is to democratize it.
Once again, 150 million businesses around the world. Our businesses, 2 of them, because I have 2 of my businesses taking crypto payments, my friends. So there are multiple businesses out there doing things. You need to know this. And by way of that happening, he said it so correctly that it's an evolution. It isn't a cannibalization. It's an evolution, because the time right now, and recalling having our Bitcoin astrologer, Etan, on our channel, and making that very well known that Bitcoin has a path. Crypto has a path. And the path that is currently unfolding is the path that was astrologically laid out, because that's what time truly is. That's all it is. And remember, it's time in the market. It's time in the market. That's all. Okay. And you should know that really the time in the market is going to take you from where Bitcoin is today from 105,000 to these levels.
Bitcoin is a little bit like a Swiss Army knife because it really does meet the fact that it's a risk-on asset, but it's a network value asset. And I think that as more people adopt Bitcoin, it still explains most of the increase in price. And of course, it's a great safe haven asset. I mean, I think for the next 10 years, I think the easiest way to think of Bitcoin is that it should have the same network value as gold. And, gold, if it's a $23-30 trillion asset, that means Bitcoin should be, at least $1 million, $1.5 million per Bitcoin.
People would love to hear that.
Bitcoin is
who wouldn't love to see their bags at 1.5 million if you just have one Bitcoin? My friend, I don't think you have enough Bitcoin. Make sure to use my private link down below. Get yourself some Bitcoin, okay? Come trade with me. Come invest with me. No financial advice, of course. I'm just sharing with you how I'm making money as a difference in my life. And I hope that it makes a huge difference in your life too because of it. Let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear if crypto has changed your life. And so lastly, I do believe that this very specific video that I'm about to share with you, Mr. DT himself always gives you a heads up. He's going to crash the market and there's going to be pain. Or these markets are going to pump and they're going to run away very fast and go higher than ever before. Well, here is the next message from them.
Traditional finance are coming around in a massive way, and I think the kind of spike in Bitcoin is going to be significant. I hear it from sovereign wealth funds. I hear it from the wealthiest families. I hear it from the biggest companies. I mean, the adoption of it is incredible. I told this story I was at MENA in Abu Dhabi, and I told this story right before I got there. A good buddy of mine runs one of the biggest banks in America. You can probably guess which one it is. They run a very, very large office for that bank in the wealthiest suburb of New York, right, in Greenwich, Connecticut. And he always said, a year ago, he was saying, hey, Bitcoin's funny money. Crypto's funny money. The other day, he goes, Eric, where do I buy this incredible kind of, cryptocurrency? Where do I buy Bitcoin? How do I get into this world? And so every single day, guys, I'm telling you, people who were kind of staunchly against it, people who didn't understand it, people who were closed-minded, people who were kind of rhinos to traditional finance are coming around in a massive way. And I think the kind of spike in Bitcoin is going to be significant. And therefore, it really is kind of a race to the top right now. There's a lot of people who are running very, very hard at this mission. And I promise you, we're going to beat them in that marathon.
And there you have it. So thank you for being here with me on the Crypto Bliss channel. If you enjoyed the content, please like, subscribe, and share this video so that you can help my algorithm on YouTube grow. I would appreciate that. Sending you so much love and light, and have a beautiful day.